So the guys over at Bluetti just released a new charging system for your vehicle to charge your portable power stations, and it has a whole pile of new features that the previous model didn't have. This is the Charger 2, and it's going to be replacing the Charger 1. So today we're going to take a look at all the new things that this can do that the Charger 1 didn't, and we've got Chef John. He's got the 4Runner here, and he's been running the Charger 1 in his 4Runner for the last, I want to say 6 to 8 months. So we're going to throw this in there and upgrade it to the newest model. And it's supposed to be a pretty straightforward swap. So we'll take a look at that today. So the first thing we are trying to do is just figure out what all is new and going on with the Charger 2. The first thing is that the Charger 2 can charge up to 1,200 watts. The Charger 1 was 560 watts. Now to get 1,200 watts, you have to use more than just your alternator. The alternator can do 800 watts, and then you can add in a solar panel to kick that up, or a couple solar panels to kick that up to 1,200 watts and have dual charging modes. So the back of the Charger 2 is looking way busier now than we had on the Charger 1. John's just digging the Charger 1 out of his truck, and we'll do a little side-by-side comparison here. So you could use this to it's kind of like, rather than having your solar panels go to your power station, you have everything kind of come into this, and this charges what you need it to charge. I've got a few, oh, it's a fuse block. Fuse block? Looks like a fuse block. Yep, it's a fuse block. So we have a 75 amp fuse, so that's going to be drawing quite a bit of amps. And then we've also got this crazy looking cable. All right, so John's just digging around in the back of the 4Runner. So there's the Charger 1. Let's, this is supposed to be a pretty plug and play swap out. So I think we just have to undo the 2 terminals in the back, and that's what we're going to use for the Charger 2. Yeah. We don't have to run new wires. What do we need, an Allen key? How does this screw in? Oh, maybe we take this plastic, we probably take this panel off. Oh, yeah. This top part of the panel comes off is my bet.
Maybe there's some instructions.
Is there tools? Let's take a look at the instructions.
Yeah.
Maybe we have
yes, you take, oh, there's an on and off button on it. I like that. I like there's a
Does it not have an on-off button now?
Mine doesn't have.
Button upgrade. Just looking at the 2 side by side so you guys get an idea. So, Charger 1, Charger 2. Much bigger unit with more features. So the first thing we notice here is the inputs. Now, this is supposed to be plug and play because you basically just got a positive and negative. But the Charger 1 has a circle barrel connector, which is what we have on the ends of the wires wired into John's truck. And the Charger 2's got a square connection, and it's pre-made. The pre-made cable that comes with it has these square pre-made ends on it. I'm guessing we can just take these 2 round barrel connectors that we have in the back of John's truck and just jam them in there and squish them down. But these are the ends that come with it, with the Charger 1s.
Well, these are the same, so they came with the same set of.
So we've got the same
connectors for solar.
Yeah. So what did you pull out of yours? You
that was connected. I keep that permanently connected to it normally.
Okay. So
the new one came exactly the same adapter.
Yeah. So we've got, this is going to go for your output, and we're going to plug this into probably the. We'll read the instructions, charge port, I'm guessing. Charge. The second one here, so this one, it's got a couple small connectors on it. And that's the only other connector the Charger 1 has. So the Charger 2 is much more of a hub for managing power coming in and out of your battery system. And then we've got, like I said, we've got this crazy charging connector with data connector, which is going to go probably in this last one here, and DC panel is probably going to go to the hub, and PV is going to go to your solar panels. So we've got what do we have here? We've got a couple connectors now.
So it actually has an input. These are saying input and output.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So one says charge, CHG. So that's going to charge batteries, and PV is going to be your photovoltaic. So that's going to be your solar panels for your input. So pretty straightforward. I don't know, what's the D plus do? Got a D plus on here.
Let's see. So D plus Just says D+ signal port. So we'll figure out what that is.
Probably something we're not using.
Oh, it goes to a smart alternator.
Smart. Oh.
So if you have a smart alternator.
Oh, interesting. But there's no cable in here for the smart alternator? So that must be an accessory they sell. So smart alternator, guys, is often problematic with these chargers because the smart alternator reads the voltage in your battery, and then when your battery is full, the alternator stops working. So the battery's voltage has to drain down. Now, a lot of other charging systems use a cable that you can wire back into like the smart alternator to tell it to turn on, something like that. So I guess Bluetti's got that as an option, and it basically like triggers the smart alternator to come on rather than it looking at the voltage of the battery.
Something interesting I just noticed, so this is designed as well so that you can plug your power station into here, and then you wouldn't actually plug your fridge into the power station. Like that's how I normally will do it right now, right? This, you can actually plug anything you need to into this. So you'd plug your fridge power, you'd plug another accessory, it looks like.
Oh, into the battery. So the battery can do more than one thing.
Basically backfeeding. It's allowing for the backfeeding feature where it's pulling potentially from your power station or your batteries in your vehicle, and it's feeding out there to the things that you need powered, as opposed to having to plug it into your power station, which is what I'm doing.
So this is more like a distribution system as well as a charger.
And that's actually
cool.
That's actually a potential like game changer for me because of where I physically have to put the stuff right now.
Yeah, so you could stash your power station somewhere that's less accessible.
Yeah.
As long as you can get power to the charger too. So these ports here are bi-directional. So this is input or output depending on what you have connected to it. So if you had a battery connected to it, then that is going to allow you to charge your vehicle's battery and jump start it or trickle charge it.
Yeah.
And then you can have your solar panel also trickle charging your vehicle.
Yes.
Or charging your battery system. Huh. That's slick.
And it's just all smart and stuff.
It's all smart and stuff. If you want to trickle charge, you have to have a battery connected to it. So that's what some of these other connectors are here, is they're to connect to expansion batteries.
Yeah.
So you can either have the expansion battery or the EV charger or is into either of these two ports. If you want to use the hub D1, so if we look at the hub, so if you want to hook your fridge up, the hub, you hook the hub up to it, and then you connect your fridge to the hub.
Yeah.
You connect your expansion battery to this.
Yes.
Your regular power station to that.
Yeah.
And your to your alternator, to your solar panels, to your hub.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very cool. Like
so it's got a lot of flexibility in what you can do.
I like that because right now I struggle with just physically where I put my power station in the vehicle because I don't run power in it all the time. So
so if you had you could tuck an expansion battery somewhere, tuck it away somewhere.
Yeah.
Or connect your fridge to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just depends on how you want to use it. You have to think about which way you want the power flowing.
Where you want it to flow, what you need it. Yeah. And I mean, I guess technically, like you could change it as well, depending on at any given point in time what you want it to be doing.
Yeah. So you pulled off the cover there.
Yeah.
So we've got a little cover covering all our little screws to clamp things down now, rather than this little rubber.
Yeah. So this one just had the little rubber gasket, and then it had an Allen key or hex key to tighten it down. This is a little beefier.
Now we got real screwdrivers.
Everybody's favorite, Phillips said.
Phillips screwdrivers. Let's strip these screws off. Okay, well, I mean, this should be pretty straightforward. We just got to hook that sucker into there.
I think I think the only thing I might want to do is put like a little crimp in that barrel, in the barrel connectors coming off. Just what I have right now,
bit, so it looks more like this.
Just so it has something to grab to.
Yeah.
And doesn't slide out. That's my only worry.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't think it's worth going to the trouble of swapping the ends. So.
But I think the biggest thing with to note is that you can charge any power station with this XT60, right? Whether you have. It doesn't have to be a Bluetti power station. And that was the same with the Charger 1.
Yeah.
You're not locked into a proprietary connector. But because of that, you can't pull power off of your power station. So the way they're doing it is have an expansion battery connected to this rather than connecting your expansion battery to your power station. And now you can use that expansion battery. You can charge it or you can draw from it to do other things.
Yeah.
Fancy. Okay, so we're just going to hook that up to the alternator 2 ports.
Yeah.
And smush those 2 wires in.
Smush those 2 in. Make sure they go on the right side. These are disconnected for anybody wondering.
Let's get the live wires hanging out.
I guess it's grabbing it pretty decently.
Good.
That's pretty good. So
tuck her in there. Let's go pop the fuse in and test the charging out.
Yeah.
See how much faster it charges over the Charger 1. Should be more. Now we don't have solar panels, but I don't think that really matters today.
I don't think it would. Yeah. Don't think it would.
We're
matter
not getting a
much
lot
today.
of solar, but we should be able to go from the, was it 560 watts before to 800. While John's wiring that up, I was just seeing if there's anything I missed as far as things this can do. But like we covered, it's got dual charging. It can combine now alternator charging and solar panels, PV input into it, which is great. Gets you all the way up to 1200 watts. Just off the alternator though, 800 watts, and then you can do 600 watts of solar, and then a combination of the 2 to max at 1200 watts. So that's really handy. It seems like it's more of a power management system now. The only other thing here that, going through some of the specs, if you've got that DC hub connected up, it will support a 12 or 24 volt system. I don't know what uses 24 volt systems, maybe like RVs and stuff, but we're gonna have to get you an expansion battery so that you can do the reverse charging.
Yeah,
because if you accidentally leave something on in your truck, you can reverse charge your battery and top it back up again. Got the Elite 100 here. Oh, it's a little top up, 38%. We've got the XT60 connector port on here.
Yep.
And we're just gonna plug right into that.
One interesting one too, compared to the other one. This one actually has a physical power button on it, which is
so you can shut her down when you're not using it, and power off your whole system.
Yeah.
You know what? We also got the app. So grab your phone because Bluetti just updated their app. So
let's
update their app and
first.
let's take a look at the.
Let's do it.
How that look. All right. So John's got this online. His van. Apparently.
Yeah. Apparently.
Can we change the vehicle?
I did.
No vehicle change.
No vehicle changes.
So it's doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
We're gonna hook this up.
Okay. So truck's on. Let's see. I don't know if it'll smart detect or if I.
Should probably get some 2-sided tape for that before it goes sliding.
I guess I need to turn charging on.
Silent charging, because it does have a fan.
Yes, that's true.
So you do need to make sure this has got a bit of airflow. Oh, I just heard something click on.
There we go. So it's doing all the smart things right now. This reminds me of the Prius screen where it shows you which direction and where it's coming from.
Just had to do a little configuration here. So Bluetti has some safeties in their configuration. So do grab the app and connect it if you're not getting the full charging voltage. So we set it to manual configuration. We set it to Elite 100 V2 so that we can get the right voltage to charge this at maximum speed. And we should be able to get 800 watts of charging here in just a second. Everything's just cycling and resetting.
Now, when we were testing out the charging, John and I ran into some charging issues. We're supposed to get around 800 watts of charging as per the instructions that came with the Charger 2, but we just really couldn't seem to push it past 450 watts or so, no matter what we tried in the various configurations. Now, Bluetti does have an automatic configuration. It's supposed to detect the Bluetti power stations, which seem to do a pretty good job at finding it, but you can also override it and set it to 56 volts and try to force it to charge faster, but we really couldn't get it to charge any faster than the 450 watts. So we did try this on a couple different versions of Bluetti power stations and seemed to come up with the same results. At this point, I remembered when I was installing a charger in my Jeep that when I had it grounded out to the battery, I couldn't actually get it to charge at the full speed either. So we went under the hood of John's 4Runner and moved the negative off of the negative terminal on the battery and put it onto a chassis bolt to see if that would fix the issue, since it worked good for me in the past. However, we were greeted with the exact same results. And then it dawned on us, it's actually very cold out. And these power stations have been sitting in the vehicle and garage for the last several weeks. And it is around 0 degrees Celsius, which is about freezing out. And we think that was limiting the charging. We confirmed this by plugging it into an AC power source, and it still wouldn't charge any faster than the 450 watts. So that concluded that. So after bringing the power stations inside and letting them warm up to room temperature and putting them back out in the truck and plugging it back in again, we were able to see charging around 715 watts. Now this isn't quite the 800 watts as advertised, but there's a lot of little variances that can fluctuate getting that full 800 watts. Either way, this is a step up from the Charger 1, which would max out at 560 watts. And we still have more overhead if we were to add some solar panels to the equation, because the Charger 2 is to be able to charge up to 1200 watts. I just don't have any solar panels, and the weather kind of sucks, so it's kind of hard for me to test that. So we'll just have to go off what Bluetti's documentation says. But I just wanted to point this troubleshooting out to you guys if you're having some trouble getting high-speed charging off your Charger 2.
I wanted to try it on another power station. We've got EcoFlow Delta 3 Max Plus. This has 2 solar ports in the back, and we can only plug into one of them. So that's gonna give us an 8 amp max input at 56 volts, which is just around 500 watts, which is what we're getting. But you know, we're using a Bluetti Charger 2 to charge another brand power station, which is pretty cool in itself. All right, there you go, guys. So there is the Charger 2. There's a QR code on the screen right now if you want to take a look at it for yourself, and some pricing, because it literally just came out. There's links down in the description below. Really cool new product from Bluetti, so go check it out. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them down in the comments. Leave them there. And guys, we're at almost 100,000 subscribers. I upload new videos all the time. Hit that subscribe button. I'd love to see you back here watching some more videos. My name's Casey, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.